bocote, that's this here. This is bocote. So this already cut up. But look at this when you book match it. Look what you get here. So when they're cut like this, like bread, look at the
wow.
Look at the figure. Look at this here. Isn't that a wonderful book match? So each of these is just an awesome book matching of. Look at that. I don't need this chunk down here. I'll just use this right here. So I'll glue this, and that'll be a back or a top or a drop top or something like that. So bocote is not bad. This is really good wood. This will probably, I imagine, 10 years. This will become restricted, like rosewood is restricted. So now this is extremely rare. I don't know how many people have seen an actual trunk of a cocobolo tree. This is cocobolo.
This from Mexico?
Yes. Then cocobolo logs. Like when you trim those logs, this is what you get. And this stuff is dense. This stuff is so dense and heavy. So these are wide enough for book matching, guitars, maybe ukuleles. They're dark because they're oxidized. This stuff was cut maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But when you shave under it, then it just pops, you know. It just starts to really pop.
Wow.
So here's an example of some of that rosewood. You saw this guitar earlier.
Yeah.
This is the Kingwood. The Kingwood, yeah, I can show that. The Kingwood is this purpley wood here. This stuff here, and this is all Kingwood. When you cut it down past the oxidized, that's that violet purple tone that you get out of Kingwood. So that's what that stuff is. Now, what I don't get from Mexico is the curly maple. That's Canada. That's northern, you know, Washington State and those other places. But so in terms of wood choices, you know, what I buy my mahogany for the bodies, but then this becomes the backs and the tops and then the fretboards. You know, these are all just cocobolo fretboards, which are probably $80 each. If you buy one with Stumac, they're $80.
Wow.
And my carpenter, he's not the best with his, you know, he gave me like twice the thickness I really need, so I can get 2 fretboards out of this stuff. You know, just raw wood.
Wow.
So this is mostly these are all tone woods.
Tone.
Wood for marimbas and guitars that are all recognized as like tone woods.
Tone woods.
So let me talk about wood. So here's bocote. This is the bocote. This is maybe 2 years old now, so it's getting kind of dark. That's bocote with mahogany and just the bocote fretboard there. And this is a spruce top. Spruce top with a cocobolo back. Okay,
Wow.
This is probably 3 years old, so it's getting darker than, you know, so it almost looks like Brazilian rosewood. It's super black almost. Ebony fretboard. So spruce is like the wood for classical guitars. But Fender did this thin line, and you know, spruce is a legit top for classical guitars, really. Curly maple, mahogany. This is Alaskan cedar. It's got that wonderful yellow tone to it. It's the one that smells like cedar. So that's that tone. I like the pairing of the Alaskan cedar with the gold hardware. I think it's a nice match. And another curly maple with mahogany. This one. What is this? I think you saw this one. You saw this one in the classroom. That's just a standard cocobolo back, book matched. I have all my pickups are Seymour Duncan, all of them, and I always use the Clouson tuners. Just might as well, just, you know, they're nice, reliable, and, you know, not too cheap.
Awesome.
This is interesting back here. We look next door at bending the wood.
Yeah.
And then that form that holds it after you when it's still wet. Well, here's what you do afterwards. When you're done with that, then your side set goes into this unit, which is called a Solara. It's from Spain.
Solara.
A Solara is basically how you assemble the guitar. The top goes on here upside down. Then you've got the sides that are going to form in. Then you start to get your neck figured out, and then it stays in this little case here, which matches the form, and then you eventually glue the back on. And then it comes off, pretty much a completed guitar. So that's the Granada style of classical guitar making, which is what typically a lot of people use. This wood is from Paracho, so I'm going to do this guitar like the classical Mexican woods. This is called a palo escrito. Palo escrito is a true rosewood, but it's not very heavy, so it'll be a nice tone wood. So a palo escrito, and they just have their own, versions of wood that they use down there. Stradivaria, huh? With his Baroque guitar.
Wow.
And then here it is here. And here's the almost completed, but I don't know how to squeeze 10 strings in here.
Exactly.
10 strings. How's that gonna happen? But that's it. In fact, this one, I think these are the little ones here. This is like exact.
Ah.
That's exactly it right there. So you use these as measurements for your final build, and that's it. That's gonna be the profile. I don't have a talent to do these wonderful, they call them mustache.
Mustache.
The mustache, yeah. And the rose, the rosette goes around. Inside is the rose, which is all carved pear wood or something. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I didn't realize at the time that Stradivaria made guitars, being made 3 or 4 of them, larger ones and then little smaller ones.